Hello, everybody. Tate Davis here with another album battle for you. These two are both from the year 1978. Well, technically, one was originally released in '77 before it was recalled and then tinkered with in the studio and then re-released in '78. And then one was the third album. The other one is excuse me, third album by this band. When after which the lead singer would go on to would replace another legendary singer and another legendary metal band. Of course, I'm talking about in one corner, Heart magazine, probably my favorite Heart album right there. Great cover, released on Mushroom Records, and then and the other, Rainbow, Long Live Rock and Roll, Ronnie James Dio's swan song with the band. Let's talk about the Heart one first. So, Heart magazine, originally released in 1977, and recalled due to a court battle with the band and Mushroom Records, and then released in 1978. Now, Heart had just come off of the success of the Dreamboat Danny album. This was originally going to be their second album for Mushroom, and Mushroom ran that ad in Rolling Stone magazines portraying Ann and Nancy Wilson as lesbian lovers, and of course they didn't like that very much, and along with that the band wanted to hire royalty rate from their album sales, and Mushroom wouldn't give it to them, so they signed a deal with a subsidiary of Columbia Records called Portrait Records. And Mushroom didn't like that very much because Heart still owed them another album in their contract, so they went ahead and released magazine when it was unfinished, and then Heart, I think, sued them, and they brought it to court. The court said that Mushroom had to cease all distribution of the album. Heart still had to provide Mushroom with the second album, but they could go in and tinker with it, so that's exactly what they did. They, added some stuff, added some vocals, keyboards, all sorts of stuff, and then eventually it was re-released later on in 1978, and then Heart by that point had already released Little Queen and had a whole bunch of had further success with like Barracuda and all that stuff. So this right here, the album that I have in my possession, is the re-release. So this is the album version of the album I'm going to be talking about. Other of you watching may have the original release, which is very rare because I think supposedly when the court ordered Mushroom to recall that album, a lot of the pressings were destroyed. I think that's what I heard. But in either case, of course, we have Ann Wilson on lead vocals and flute and all sorts of things. Nancy Wilson on guitars, acoustic guitars. Mike DeRozier on drums. Howard Leese on guitar and keyboards. Steve Fossen on bass. And Roger Fisher on guitar and keyboards. Mike Flicker produced it. Some of the tracks were taken from the Aquarius Tavern in Seattle. It was remixed in '78 at Sea West Studios, all that stuff. Yeah. Lauren Salazar designed the album cover. I love this album cover right here. It's great. So what are the songs on it, you may ask? Heartless opens up side one of my favorite Heart songs of all time. This was actually the big hit from this album. Great dual vocals by or harmony vocals rather, of the Wilson sisters in the chorus there. Devil Delight, a really cool Zeppelin style hard rock song, kind of slow and bluesy and doomy. Just the Wine, Heart doing another one of their folk songs, really nice. They're really cool cover of the Badfinger classic Without You, with some great vocals by Ann on that, great drumming by Mike DeRozier on that. Turnover Side 2, one of the underrated songs in the Heart Catalog magazine. Really cool synth work. I think Howard Leese plays the keyboards on that. Here's Song, a short little folk ditty, cool. And then the two live tracks, which for this version of the album were actually edited and shortened up a bit. You have Mother Earth Blues / You Shook Me, a blues medley. Really cool, great harmonica. solo, great guitar solo by Howard Leese on that, great vocals by Ann. Their version of Kiki D's I Got the Music in Me is a lot of fun. Ann Wilson getting the crowd involved and everything like that, mentioning how their hands would go down in history. So it closes out, a great album, just 8 tracks long, roughly about 39 minutes or so, and just comes in, kicks your ass, and goes away. A very, very underrated Heart album, in my opinion, probably my favorite, so that's a great one. As is this one, Rainbow, Long Live Rock and Roll. Yeah, so this one, of course, features Ronnie James Dio on lead vocals. Richie Blackmore on guitar. He plays bass on some tracks. Cozy Powell plays drums. Bob Daisley plays bass plays some bass here. David Stone plays all the keyboards, and I think Tony Carey, who's uncredited, might play the piano intro to LA Connection. But yeah, they had a whole bunch of different people coming into the studio at this point. Richie was kind of getting frustrated with bass players. Jimmy Bain was asked to leave the band. Well, he fired Tony Carey, and they replaced him with David Stone, and then he eventually fired Jimmy Bain from the band. And then I think Mark Clark came in, and and Blackmore didn't like him very much. So he started to play the bass. He tried to play the bass himself, and then he had Bob Daisley came in, and, eventually Roger Glover would replace him soon after this album came out. But in either case, it was recorded, Martin Birch produced this, the late great Martin Birch, who passed away recently. I believe it was recorded at the Chateau in France, I think? Right? Sorry, guys. I don't know. No, it doesn't say. I think if I remember correctly, it was recorded at the Chateau in France. Debbie Hall designed the album cover right here. Really, really nice. So it opens up with the title track. You put on the vinyl and rock and roll. Awesome. Very, very catchy. Great vocals by Ronnie James Dio on that one. Lady of the Lake, one of my favorite Rainbow songs of all time. Great mid-tempo hard rock tune. LA Connection, Rainbow kind of doing a honky-tonk kind of thing. It works. It works really well, I think. Gates of Babylon. Another favorite among a lot of Rainbow fans. Great drumming by Cozy Powell on this one. Blackmore's guitar solo is amazing. Love the vocals by Dio. Turn it over to side 2. You got the studio version of Kill the King. I like the live version of On Stage a lot better, but still very good here. Nice and fast and furious. The Shed. This really, really kind of slower, mid-paced, doomy tune. Street walking. Sensitive Delight. Cool up-tempo, short hard rock song. Awesome there. And then the wonderful folky Rainbow Eyes closes out the album. So overall, my favorite Rainbow album, probably not a top 2 or 3 Rainbow album. Yes, indeed. This is still a great one. So when putting the two beside one another, I will say I am probably a bigger Rainbow fan than I am a Heart fan, but and this is a really, really tough pick for me because I love both of these albums quite a bit, and this was my first Rainbow album. I should say, I forgot to mention that earlier. This is my first Rainbow album, but when putting it up against Magazine, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Heart, only because if this were Rising or the debut or maybe even Down to Earth, Heart would lose this. But I just think those albums are just a little bit stronger than this one. This is a strong album, don't get me wrong, but when you have Heartless and Magazine, I'm sorry, Magazine is a much better ballad than Rainbow Eyes in my opinion. So Heart is going to win by the slightest of margins. it's not, this is not a close battle. Dio and the boys here put up a great fight, but in the end, Heart is going to win this one for me. If you like this one better, that's great too. All that matters is that we're talking about two great albums. So, in the comment section below, pick which one you like better. Good luck, guys. This is going to be a tough one. And with that being said, we will see you guys later for more of these. Bye-bye.